Commentatore, welcome.
Hey, welcome.
It's me, Sam Roberts. It's him, great New York City comedian,
Delaware's
Ian
finest.
Fidance, #1 in Delaware across the world.
Yes.
And I have seen Sopranos many, many times. But for Ian, it is his Prima Volta. And look at how hydrated you are.
It's my Pedialyte.
Yes. Yes, welcome back to the show. Thank you. Hope you've hit like. Hope you've hit subscribe on this bad boy. Because
Hope you've been a commentator.
Nailed it.
Yes.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Like a nail to the hand of Jesus.
Oh.
Nailed it.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. A little stigmata up in this piece.
Happy Easter.
Well, that's a long time ago, but people are going to think that we taped this like in March.
I mean, last Easter or next Easter. I don't know, but either way, Christ be with you.
All happy families.
All happy families, which is funny because none of the families are happy. Tony's personal or professional.
I don't know of any happy families on this show.
And in life.
I mean, I don't of at least, I mean, I have a happy family.
You think, but go see Melfi, see what she digs up.
I think you're right. Sal Vitro's family's not happy.
Good God. This poor fella. I mean.
But this is season 5, episode 4 of The Sopranos. We're starting to get deep now into season 5. We started a season that was full of new characters, and certainly, you know, I think season 4 is where the kind of darkness, both in tone and in aesthetic, kicked in, and it's certainly maintaining, I think.
If it gets any darker, I'm going to have to watch this damn show with night vision goggles.
You know, it's like, what are we watching? Game of Thrones finale over here?
I mean, it's not... What, are they filmed during nighttime?
Okay, so it didn't get any better, but... What do you think of where we're at now? Now that we're 4 episodes into the season,
Yes.
You've kind of gotten a little bit more comfortable with the world. You're starting to figure out who Phil Leotardo is, who Feech Lamanna is, who Tony Blundetto is. They're no longer the new kids.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about this season so far?
Well, you bring these guys up, and I'm like, what are the crews? Who are the fucking crews? Lorraine and her man toy is with New York, but
Correct.
then why is she talking to Carmine Jr.? Why is Tony involved with Carmine Jr. and Alfred, what's his name? Alonzo? Molina?
Dr. Octopus.
No. What?
Well, no.
Andre, who's the Abisi? Who's the...
Adebisi?
Adebisi? No, who's the old guy that got out of jail? Again, he's in charge of a family. Tony sits down with him in the last episode.
Right. That's, yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
So why is
Leave
Jersey...
the name in the commentatore.
Yeah, why is Jersey Tony in with New York these guys? And then, you know, Phil Leotardo, I know they're all New York, but it seems like they're fighting with Lorraine, and Lorraine is kicking up to Carmine Jr.
New York,
and not Johnny.
New York is a fractured crew. Lorraine, Tony's involved just because Jersey is... By outside accounts, people don't think Jersey is a fractured crew. I mean, we know better because we're seeing the inside, right? But we at least know who the leader is. In New York, we don't even have a leader.
Oh, that's right, because Carmine died.
Right. So what's going on is little Carmine and Johnny Sack are in that sort of battle for power. Lorraine is little Carmine's person. So she's keeps kicking money up to little Carmine.
I thought little Carmine was in Florida. I didn't even think he was a part of the family.
Well, he came back in once his dad died.
Yeah, but he's got no place. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, you and I know that. And you know what's interesting about little Carmine is I might have picked up on this at the time and forgotten it, but I certainly don't pick up on it upon the rewatch because it's not so fresh in my brain. But this is the early 2000s, right? For, you know, beginning of the first decade of the 2000s. Little Carmine is a dim-witted son of a person in power who is trying to...
George Bush.
It's a W reference.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now that I...
Oh, yeah, and in the last episode, Barbara was late to dinner. Oh, they wouldn't let us bring this on the plane, you know, because of all the 9/11. Wow. And maybe that's why they have him mispronounce things.
Yeah.
Strategic.
Words are mispronounced. Yeah, the whole thing. I think his whole character is George W. Bush joke.
Whoa.
And I didn't literally this week as I was, because I watch the episodes and then I look at like, other people's analysis and stuff, make sure I don't miss any glaring.
Oh, so this wasn't a Sammy Big Beard's original.
No, I believe this was pure.
What's that like? Not having an original thought.
It's odd. I mean, it's never happened before this. Jarring. Never for you. It's always been originals only.
I'm like 311. I come original.
I'm like 311 in the sense that I'm down.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm like 311 in the fact they've given the news lately. I think guns are for pussies.
Well, I'm more like a System of a Down in the sense that I think this whole thing is chop suey. Okay.
Wow.
Right.
Wake up.
No, I believe it was I think Pure Kino is the YouTube channel that first brought up this W thing, and I said, "Oh, they do really good, 8 or 9 minute episode recaps of every Sopranos episode."
Maybe
They
I'll
do an
watch
awesome
some
job.
old ones, but I'm not watching. I'm afraid of any sort of.
No spoiler. Yeah. Yeah, you don't even want to dip into the recaps of episodes that you've seen in this season, just in case.
I'm just so hungry to see where it goes. Like, legitimately, Tony cannot find the DeWalt, and he's like, "Where's the DeWalt?" And I literally am like, Who took the DeWalt? What happened? I know somebody moved it. What happened? Who did? And then they bring up Brian, and then I see Carm, and I go, she's going to be a dime piece again. They've really done her up good, and it's so great to see, like, the physical wear and tear of how she is emotionally, and, like, the further she gets away from Tony, the better she looks.
Yeah, the better it is for her as a person. But you know who this episode wasn't good for? It's a character that we met only one episode ago. Poor Lorraine.
Oh, God.
Oh, poor Lorraine. It starts
Poor Lorraine. Good for us. Saw them titties.
for the last time.
Oh, they were nice.
David Chase making the call to kill her in the nude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I would have made the call to have her suck their cocks.
Okay. All right. I mean, we talked about this last week.
that.
I know.
Yeah.
I know you would have made the call to do that.
When I was getting my cock sucked, I'd say, "How about this humidity?"
Yeah.
She really puts the titty in humidity.
That's okay. All right, okay.
I want to fuck her.
I know you do, Ian. I know you do. And you want to suck off Phil. So, I mean, listen.
No.
Here's Bud. So, she does get murdered because she won't listen. And that now we know.
I can't believe after the phone book incident, she still didn't kick up to Johnny. What a dumb broad.
That's Billy Leotardo that goes into her house. Phil Leotardo's brother.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, Bill and Phil.
Oh, cool.
Philly Leotardo, that's Billy Leotardo. Billy
I thought it
Leotardo
was his
goes in.
son.
Nope, it's his brother. Goes in and
Caps her.
caps her.
And then, yet again, someone makes coffee in the kitchen during a murder.
People love you have coffee on you.
I love coffee, but I'm not killing someone and leaving my prints everywhere.
But think about the mafia's hours that they keep. Imagine how tired they are.
America runs on Dunkin'.
That's actually a good point.
They probably didn't want to support Dunkin' after 9/11 because they were ignorant and thought that they were responsible for 9/11.
You think so?
Do you remember that?
I guess
When
vaguely.
people were like, "Don't go to Dunkin' Donuts, you fucking Muslims." It's
Right.
like, no, they're like sheiks and fucking Indians.
Yeah,
What are you
that's not-
talking
That
about?
has nothing to do with
Yeah.
this at all. It's unfounded.
I know.
And then we see, but we do see. I think this is the first time we see Rusty, who
Who's
is Little Carmine's capo, who's ironically played by Frankie Valli. He's the one that's kind of manipulating Little Carmine. It might have just been another new face that you didn't register.
Oh,
he's like
when
a
they're
little
sitting
guy.
in there.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, what's he want to do? Kill Johnny Sack?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, interestingly enough, Frankie Valli has been referenced on the show multiple times.
I can't wait till Gary Cooper shows up.
That Gary Cooper plays like that actor. That's Frankie Valli playing that character.
Gotcha.
Right. So now we see that's, but
Jersey guy, right? Is Frankie Valli Jersey or Brooklyn?
in real life,
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't know where Frankie Valli is from.
Commentatore.
Leave it in the commentatory. I mean, in this show, New York,
Yeah.
Little Carmine.
Mhm.
Do you think we're getting any closer to figuring out who is going to lead New York?
Nobody likes Carmine. Nobody likes Little Carmine. It seems Johnny Sack's crew is fucking on point.
Yes.
It seems like Johnny Sack's crew is like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And then it's Tony's shaky fellas. And then underneath it's Carmine and the Screwballs.
Yeah.
I mean, bottom of the... He's got Frankie Valli. I mean, that guy's a singer, not a killer.
That's he's portraying a character.
Oh.
That's not actually Frankie Valli. Wouldn't it be great if they
sing?
Wouldn't it be great if they got an actor to play Frankie Valli and like the character like Rusty went to go see Frankie Valli?
Or they go see Frankie Valli and he plays himself twice.
And nobody references it. They're like,
yeah.
Rusty, what do you think? This guy's great and handsome.
Yeah. Big crack.
Be really specific for him to bring up. Look at the size of that thing.
I got a hog. Oh, is that pie on mine in his pants?
Well, there are family issues happening for Tony at home at the same time that all this is going on in Lorraine. And what about, do you think that Phil and Johnny have, like, why is that relationship different, you think?
What are you talking about?
The relationship between Phil Leotardo and Johnny Sack.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that it's different than the relationship between, like, say, Feach LaManna and Tony? Meaning that...
Yeah, I feel like there's a mutual respect there, and Phil's gonna kill for Johnny, and Feach is, like, hating Tony.
Right. Before we get into Feach, let's get into what's going on at home for Tony.
It's terrible.
Well...
I mean, AJ's a moron. He got 11... No, he didn't even get above 1,000 on his SATs.
No, and that's the old SAT scores, too.
I know. What'd you get in your SATs?
1230.
Really?
Yeah. What'd you get?
1235.
I sincerely doubt that. Did you even graduate high school? Do they have high school in Delaware? There's an equivalent.
1190.
1190. That's...
Where'd you go to college?
Syracuse.
NYU. I won in the long run.
Oh, you did? What are you doing now?
Podcast with you.
Is this Ian Triali's?
Sam Triali's.
Okay.
I'm going to have an Ian Triali's on my new podcast, B and Ian.
Can I come over?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Why?
It's good.
That's good. That's good. That's good. We even missed that last week. That's good. That's good. Well, AJ is having trouble at school. It brings Tony and Carmela back together, not in the biblical sense, of course, but in the sense of like they both have to discipline him together. I guess before we get into AJ, what do you think of this guidance counselor?
I think he wants a piece of the Carmela pie.
You think he deserves a piece?
I think he doesn't realize what that would do.
How do you feel about seeing Carmela with another man?
I thought her laugh on the phone with him, or in person, I forget, was so gross. Yeah, on the phone when she was like,
You didn't like that?
Ugh, Carm.
Right.
It's like every time she gets a chance to be with like another guy, she just like gets weird and tries too hard.
Yeah. I mean, look, she's been with Tony for as long as she's been with Tony, and that the world is such an insulated world that maybe she doesn't know how to act.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they do when they go to lunch after the meeting. See, in the meeting, Tony, Carmela, AJ all together. Then he would like to talk to Carmela privately about AJ. You think that lunch is about AJ?
No. Yet again, AJ being used. The same way Carmela brought him around Furio, he is yet a pawn for Carm to get jammed out.
You think one day AJ will be a grown man and he'll go, Mom, when I was a teenager, you used me to get jammed out so many times.
I mean... No, AJ's so dumb he'll never realize
He'll
it.
never figure it out.
No. He's an idiot. I really hate the way he talks to Carm.
So instead of like where Tony is like, did you ever even love me? AJ will be like, of course you love me. You used to take me everywhere.
Yeah. Wow, we spent so much time together and you left me all alone to think about how much I love you.
Why don't you like the way AJ talks to Carm?
Because he's a disrespectful little shit.
But he's a high school boy.
I never talked to my mother that way.
Never?
Never.
I did.
Really?
Hell yeah.
I win again.
In bed.
What?
Your mom, not mine.
Oh, I thought you meant your mom.
No, I meant I
What?
talked to your mom like
no,
that.
No, you didn't. We didn't meet until a couple years ago. But you knew her before me?
Yeah.
Sam!
You're my second Fidance.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. You know who I knew before you?
Who?
Mrs. Fidance.
No, you didn't.
How do you know?
Because fucking your word means ungats.
One time I hid in a box.
No.
And I jumped out and surprised her. And then put it in.
I did that. No, I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
Ew.
I didn't do that.
I was just kidding.
I didn't do that.
I didn't do it. Ew. You admitted it. Oh, Ian. Hydrate a little.
Well, guess who's not getting a Whitman's this week?
I was just kidding. I didn't really do all that stuff.
You'll get a Whitman's.
Okay, good. What about Carm at lunch with the guidance counselor trying to fit into that world of intellectualism and writing down the names of the books? Yeah.
And he's just like tap dancing around her with how smart he is, and she's like, I'm gonna go to Borders right on the way home.
Writing down the names of the book.
I know.
Poor Carm, right?
Yeah. Dude, every time a girl like mentioned something when I was younger, I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna read that and we'll bond. And then I'd like get to like the second page and be like, I'll just find someone else.
What was worse than like a girl would be like, yeah, no, this is my favorite book. Oh, really? And you'd write it down and you'd go home and you read the book and 2 weeks later you tried to bring it up and she was like, oh yeah, I forgot I said that. No, it was okay.
Oh God. No, I'm just getting shot back to when I fucking, was getting a hard on reading The Bell Jar. You want to talk about Sylvia Plath?
Tony shows what's up when in the middle of AJ's tutoring session, like if there's any moment to show you how different Tony and Carmela are. Carmela's got a tutor for AJ. Mm-hmm. Tony shows up
with a new fucking car.
A banana yellow SUV.
Because 2 girls died in a car accident. So he's got to get AJ this great car to protect him when he already had a station wagon. And it's like, what the fuck? And then
it's positive reinforcement.
And then poor Well, I did like that idea of like, you see this? You're not driving it till you get your grades up. That's smart. I think that's a good idea.
But
that would make them work hard.
Not if you know that your parents are full of shit.
Well, he doesn't know Tony's full of shit.
He kind of does.
He knows Carm's full of shit. Why does he know Tony's full of shit?
I mean, kids know. He's in the car already. You know when it's like...
Yeah, but that was Tony carrot on the stick. And then Carm's keeping up with the Joneses, keeping up with the Toneses by letting them go to New York. And of course, AJ's going to fuck around.
Of course he's going to fuck
Jesus Christ. That was a crazy turn of events.
What? Shaving his eyebrows off and getting super glued to the floor?
Yeah. What the fuck?
Hey, look, he's a high school kid. He's not used to drinking, drugging.
One time I went to the grocery store and didn't realize until I was at checkout that there was a dick drawn on my calf.
Is that a true story?
Yeah, and the weirdest thing is I didn't even go to a sleepover.
Boy, I tell you. Yeah. And then of course, this is how you know AJ knows that Tony's full of shit. Because he goes like this. I had a couple of beers. And Tony goes like this. He had a couple of beers.
Yeah, right.
AJ's manipulating Tony. He knows.
You don't get your eyebrows shaven off after a couple of beers. What kind of 2-beer queer are you?
He had a couple of
beers.
I'd
have grounded him for getting that drunk off 2 beers.
Right.
And like, be a man.
You would do that?
Ground my kid for getting drunk off of only 2 beers? Mm-hmm. Well, no, because I'm not going to have kids. Oh!
Nice. I love that. Love that. So, I feel like this is becoming a regular thing. So,
what? You
my phone ringing
phone?
when the thing.
Well, AJ fucks up, and I mean that the end of the episode. I mean, should we get into that and then just get into like the card game and shit, or?
Well, I figured let's do all the AJ stuff, and then
I mean, AJ's a big part of the end of the episode because he goes to live with Tony, which we forgot to mention in the last episode. Tony makes up with Artie, invites him over, and then he's got Tony Blundetto hanging out.
yeah,
And I am loving it.
you love the friendship.
It is. I love adult sleepovers.
Yeah,
I love hanging out with the fellas, just watching the game.
When grown-ups
eating,
can have
burping, farting.
when grown-ups can have boyfriends. I'm
Yes.
gonna invite some of my boyfriends over.
Are you?
No, I'm saying like,
Oh,
wouldn't it
I
be
was
nice?
like, when are we having a sleepover?
I say that sometimes. I go. Jess, one of my boyfriends coming over to do a Sopranos podcast,
Yes.
and then sometimes you show up.
Yeah.
I couldn't even lie. It's you. I was
Thank
talking
you.
about you.
Thank you.
I was
Thank
talking
you.
about you.
Thank you.
I was.
Dude.
That was. You know what that was? That was just a little me ribbing you.
That was ribs.
You got Roberts.
The baby back ribs
You
back.
got Roberts.
I got Roberts. I got sandwiched.
Yeah.
Have you ever had an adult sleepover with your friends?
It
It is so fun.
I don't think so.
I used to have them with Stavros all the time.
I love Stavros.
We would just go hang out, smoke weed at his place in Queens, hang out with him and his roommates, play video games,
And
get bagels. He'd cook omelets. It was the best.
in the morning.
In the morning,
That's great.
you know.
I love that.
Yeah.
You guys make breakfast for each other?
He made breakfast for all of us.
That's.
And I would clean.
Oh my.
You know, it was nice. I had an adult sleepover 2 weeks ago. I had my favorite ska band, Catbite, sleepover because we shot a music video the next day.
And they slept over your house?
Slept in my basement,
That's great.
hung out.
No, I think the last time I had a grown-up sleepover was probably.
Your wedding night.
Ah, that's a good one. That's good. That's good. That's good. No, I was probably like in my 20s or something. I mean, it was
Wow.
probably-
I love it.
That's probably.
I love sleepovers.
I have to tell you, yeah,
Do you have
Spe-
brothers and sisters?
yeah.
I'm an only child.
Oh, so you're getting it all out.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I shared a room for my entire adolescence with my brother. So it's
Wow.
like, yeah. So I'm not. That's not a void that's looking to be filled.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, AJ. How do you think that's going to work out with AJ and Tony?
I don't know. I
Shacking
think
up.
that's really cool. Shacking up with your dad.
It's one of those
You
things
know?
that, like, even if it's not, I couldn't imagine it being like a long-term thing. But
Yeah.
like, you have to know that AJ will always look back on that kind of fondly. I would
Yeah.
think, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
It's funny because Tony's tried for so long to like have this relationship with AJ, and then it's just something as simple as like just hanging out, watching a game with the fellas.
Yeah.
And then they had the standoff moment where he was like, "Go get your Spanish homework done," and he
Great
goes 15 minutes, and he just stares at him. AJ goes, "All right." It was like AJ was testing the boundaries, and Tony wasn't budging. You know.
That was the moment that like AJ was like, "How much can I get away with
Yeah.
here?" Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
Tony let him know exactly, and AJ was like, "Understood."
Yeah.
Understood.
And I love Tony's at-home leisure suits. You know, and his special track suits. I love it.
His comfy suits, because that's when you know it's like, I'm not going out for the rest of the
Yes.
night. I'm
Oh.
done working. Like, this
Love a
is,
comfy
I'm going to
suit.
wear comfy pants now.
Yep.
And every now and then you'll even still go to pick up food or whatever in your comfy pants, but you
Yep.
know you're not there for business. You're there to pick up food and go right back home.
Yep.
And that's why you went in your comfy pants.
Yep. I comfy pants it around my neighborhood.
And it's good to know that Tony has comfy pants,
I feel good about that.
you know, because it's like the human side.
It's just so cool hanging out with the guys.
You love hanging out with the guys, the fellas.
The fellas.
I mean, that you got to go on your fellas ski trip.
Yes. Oh my
month or so
God. That
ago.
was
Yeah.
fellas time.
Yeah.
It was great. I love it.
You do need more of that.
Mm-hmm.
I like going
It's
to wrestling
important.
shows with the fellas.
There it is.
With the guys.
Guys rule.
Yeah.
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 Girls drool.
Yeah.
Yep. They want you to fucking shoot bears and pay for life insurance.
Yeah.
You know, but sometimes you need them because they got to tell you when to scratch your ass and when to shit.
Yep. Totally. I agree.
Beach.
Let's get into it.
Yes.
Feech Lamana. Feech.
Beach Lamana Aquapana.
Feech, he resents Tony, right?
Resents Tony, dislikes Tony, likes the old school of what's his face, Corrado, dislikes Tony, feels like Tony hasn't earned it just because of who Tony was as a son. Matter of fact, it's brought up because he says something about like, or who your father's friends were.
Right. But it all comes to a head, I feel like, when Feach asks Tony if he can run the card game.
Well, also, wait a minute. Backtrack a second. They're telling these stories, and then again, they bring up the heist. And he's like, you should have been dead. Again, I want to know what happened with Tony and Tony Blundetto, and I want to know a flashback with the fucking card game.
Tony
Give
Blundetto.
this to me.
Yes. Well, the card game wasn't what locked up Tony Blundetto, though.
I know. It was
Okay.
a separate thing that they keep mentioning that I don't know all the info about.
Well,
Give me the info.
But the card game has been part of lore since season 3,
but not
at
the
least.
specifics. Now that we know who Feach is, he can be involved.
Well, what do you need to know?
I want to know the plan, how they went in, what happened, the aftermath.
I mean, they robbed the card game, and then the guy
But it
became
can
the
be
boss
such
of the
a
mafia.
Cool.
I just told you what happened.
Whatever.
So, no, I know what you're saying. And they have done flashbacks before, like early in the...
But just, all early flashbacks. Nothing, it was all like Tony as a kid and this and that. And his
Not
dad.
baby mafia Tony.
Yeah. That would be fucking sick.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah, 100%. I mean, questions do get answered as the show goes on, obviously, but it is...
But I want them now.
I know you do. I know you do. But Feach says, you owe this one to me. Tony lets him do it. But that's when, like, Feach is pissed when Tony, like, makes a comment about Feach being long-winded.
Oh, how many hellos is this guy going to say?
Just stops him right in his tracks.
Yeah.
Just takes the wind right out of the story.
Ray Liotta died.
A week ago.
Yes. And that scene at the table in Goodfellas, how am I funny? How the fuck? I don't know, you're a funny guy. Oh, look at him. Look at him. Same thing happened at that card game.
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't get an invite to the wedding.
Oh! Yeah, gotcha. You just got financed.
You just got financed.
Yeah, I got it. So, but the card game goes south because Feach decides to steal a whole bunch of cars from the urologist's wedding.
Dude, that is wild that happened.
Yeah.
That Feach did that. That he used that card game as reconnaissance and just fucking went for it.
And isn't it funny that like...
I would have liked Feach to do that if it wasn't related to Tony.
Well, yeah, that's the problem, right? That it was clearly one of Tony's friends and that card game is a high roller, friends-only card game. Like, you're supposed to be trusted, but at the same time, the logic behind it, which is, well, they all have insurance. Right? They've all got insurance. It's fine. Don't worry. Like, and you go like, oh, if this wasn't Feach, is that part, like, would Tony have been okay with it? Like, is this something that the mafia can justify by saying like, it's insurance, it's victimless?
Oh, well, I don't know if it's Feach more so that it was a friend of Tony.
Yeah, no, that's true too.
Like I feel like if fucking Paulie did it or whatever, he'd be pissed. He's going to be pissed regardless because it's a friend of Tony's. And
you don't want to scare, if this guy's a whale at the poker table, you don't want to scare him off.
No. And also it's just rude behavior.
And then Tony remembers, speaking of rude behavior, everybody at the table laughing at hyenas at Tony's joke. He remembers what
Carm said.
And then the one guy who wasn't laughing. Feach. Now, what did you make? I think that Feach's... what happens to Feach on this episode is one of the more interesting things to happen, right? Because I feel like in this episode, you're gearing up. When Feach is in there apologizing to Tony. Oh, I'm sorry. He doesn't mean it, right? Like, there's a hostility.
He's kissing the ring.
Right, but it's almost, it's like there's a hostility to it. And you kind of go, like, did you think, oh, this is where the season's going to culminate? Like, there's going to be some kind of war. Feach is one of these two is going to have to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be like a fucking, Richie Aprile, Ralph, Gigi scenario. I mean, Gigi wasn't going to get killed, but he died. It at a certain point, it's like, yep, here we go again. It's a game of guess who,
right?
But I will say, I took the thing of Tony being like, all these motherfuckers are fake, and Feach was just staring at him. And I thought maybe Tony thought he could be the guy that is like the guy that's not afraid to say shit to me.
Like, I need that. If I can get that energy on my side, that's the energy I need.
Yeah.
Not
like,
the energy of all these yes
I need
men.
a guy who's going to fucking tell me what it is. And maybe, just maybe, we could work to a point where we're not butting heads and we're working together. That's what I took it as.
Right. But you don't take that as that now.
No.
Because you saw what happened.
Yeah.
Right. Now, what do you think of the fact that instead of having Feach killed, Tony had Feach sent back to jail?
Tony did that?
I mean, yeah.
What?
You don't think that Tony sent the guys over to Feach's house with the TVs knowing that they'd leave it in Feach's garage and then the guy...
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, dude, that was
a setup?
Yes!
Shut up.
Yeah, dude!
Really?
Yeah!
No way.
Yes!
What?
Yes!
I thought that they just really liked Feach.
No, dude!
What?
That was a plan!
Because he knew Feach is thirsty.
Yeah!
What the fuck?
That's what makes this so evolved.
And then does that mean Feach realizes it on the bus?
I don't know if Feach realizes it was a setup or if he's just realizing he's going back to prison and he ain't getting out. Yeah, dude. That was a setup.
I guess his book doesn't mean ungats.
Instead of Tony killing him, he sent him back to jail.
Tony did that.
Yeah, dude.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
He is a hawk. Wow. I can't, no, legit. I just thought like, wow, that's some bad fucking luck. That's what Feach gets for being too hungry.
Yeah.
Whoa. Mind fucking blown.
Are you going to rewatch the episode?
Yes.
Yeah.
On the way home.
Yes.
I'm going to get in an accident.
Great.
Yeah. More time to watch Sopranos.
And if they go like, hey, Ian, why'd you get into this car accident? You'd go, did you know this was a setup?
Yeah. And they'll go, let's hang out in the hospital. Guys, sleepover.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
That's what makes this so unique is that Tony's playing chess here. Right? Like this is the opposite of the Ralphie thing, I think.
Wow.
Tony realizes that something needs to happen.
Wow. Oh, also, yeah, Ralphie magically just, nobody investigated that. No big deal.
I mean, you can investigate all you want.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
No, the cruise.
Well, they don't want to find the answers.
Oh, yeah, true.
You know? I mean, what's the best case scenario here?
Yeah.
You know?
I wouldn't be good in the mafia because I'd be like, come on, what's wrong? Just tell me. You know I'm a steel trap. Just tell me. Come on.
I'm your best friend.
I know. I always do that with my Carm. I'm like, come on, just tell me. Are you mad? Are you upset? She goes, no, I'm just tired. I'm like, no, come on, you can talk. So now we have a code word, applesauce.
And what does that mean?
That means like, yeah, I am mad or upset.
And like we don't.
So I go, applesauce? And she'll go, yeah, applesauce. I go, okay, we can talk about it later.
Right.
Instead of me going, what?
Yeah.
Because I always think everyone's always mad at me.
Right. But a lot of times they're not. How could they be? How could anybody be mad at you?
Thanks.
You know?
It's
It's a guy's sleepover.
Yeah.
Hey, dude. You want to sleep over?
Where's
We'll watch that Feach episode together.
I'm canceling the cellar. I'm supposed to go to Phoenix tomorrow. Not anymore.
I quit comedy.
I live in your basement.
So you didn't realize it was a setup?
Not at all.
That's awesome.
Mind blown.
That's awesome.
Truly mind blown.
Now,
Cannot
though,
believe it.
But now it makes perfect
total sense.
Yeah.
Wow.
Christopher was like, everybody was in on it.
I mean, my head was, oh, Tony's going to get him killed in jail.
Yeah, no. Just sending him to jail.
Bravo, Mr. Soprano. Bravo. Wow.
Yeah.
But again, this is a fucking move of like, still, Tony's not going to get any like fear and respect from people because no one's going to know Tony did it except those two.
Well, yeah, but you're not going to have...
Like, no one will know, don't fuck with Tony.
But for the first time, you...
Is that not considered working with the cops?
That's the question, right? That like, it's not really being a rat. It's setting somebody up to be caught.
Yeah,
You're
but
not
it's kinda
tipping
like,
the cops off. You just know a parole officer's coming, unless you are tipping the cops off. Yeah. No, I mean, there's a lot there. I mean, the Tony Soprano that we know would have killed him, right? Like, would have found some way to off
well,
him.
I'm just glad he didn't because I like Feach and I hope he shows up later. Like, I
Yeah.
hope we see the Feach Chronicles in jail.
Right. You want him to
You
be
know?
calling and stuff like that the way Paulie was.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
like we just see how he deals with jail call and he becomes like a mob guy in jail.
Right. Like Goodfellas.
Yeah, and people like, I mean, dude, is there not a better adult friend sleepover than jail?
I can think of some of this stuff that it wouldn't be that fun.
Like what?
So Feach is looking out there. Yeah, and I think he's realized, I don't know, that like he got a taste
That's
of,
the thing. Now that I know, do you think he's like, oh, I'm a fucking idiot? Or is he like, I got to get Tony back? This motherfucker.
Or is he thinking like, fuck, it's over. Right? I mean, he's an old man.
Yeah.
He's going back to jail. And when you break your parole,
Yeah.
it's a big deal.
I want so many good things for Feach.
You do? Do you think you're going to get them?
Maybe he'll break out of jail.
You think Feach is going to break? You think that's the
Maybe he'll
storyline?
change his name to Reach Malana.
What's Milana? Why wouldn't they just say
Lamana.
Why wouldn't they just say why would he change his last name?
Meech Malana.
Why would he change
Meech?
Why Meech?
Because it's not Feach.
Oh, he's just gonna change his name like to disguise his identity.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Meech
Mamama.
Malana.
Yeah. Do you know Feach Lamana? I do not.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. That's an odd name.
Oh, it sounds like a nice gentleman, though. Must have a big cock.
I think that's the third episode in a row.
Little Easter egg. Happy Easter, by the way. I don't know, but I gotta.
Yeah, I love
skedaddle.
I love that you just found this out.
I'm mind blown. I can't wait to rewatch that episode.
Rewatch it, and we will start next week's episode with your new reflections on Feach Lamana, and then, of course, we'll discuss season 5, episode 5 of The Sopranos. I think, we can't forget, right, that this is just another example of, for me, even though I knew it the first time I watched it, that it was a setup, but for me, I've seen it many, many times. A lot of the stuff is made very, very clear to me. But for Ian Fidance, it's his Prima Volta. Okay.
Oh.
All right. Leave your commentatory. Subscribe.
Scommendatori.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Grazie.
Meech Malana is Obama's daughter's name. Malana Obama.